Hi everybody, it's Marilyn with MKR Creations, and today I have a super simple but elegant Christmas card or greeting card that I'm going to show you how to make today. So this is made with a die cut, so I will be using my Sizzix today to do this die cut. You will need, this is a 4 by 5.5 card. It's already scored. It's one that you can get from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, the ready-made cards that you just finish. We're going to be using one of those. We were going to be using a piece of plain white cardstock that's 3.5 by 5, and then a piece of brown cardstock that's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And this is to provide that mat that goes behind before you put it on your card, and then also your card has a border around the brown too to really help that pop. Also, I'm going to be using a stamp that says Merry Christmas, and since the card is brown and everything is brown here, I'm going to be using brown ink to do the stamping. And you always want to store your inks upside down so that the ink is at the top of your pad instead of down at the bottom. And I always take my ink to my stamp instead of my stamp to my ink. It kind of helps with messiness and such, that you don't get your ink, your sides of your stamp all gooey. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be using is this die. I got this off Amazon, and I'm not sure how to link things. I will try my best to put a link below for you, but if you just search die cuts, they have lots of beautiful dies on there that you can find that are pretty amazing to use. I'm going to be using my Sizzix. I got this last year for Christmas from my husband, which totally astounded me because my husband really is not thrilled with my crafting hobbies and going to craft fairs, but he got this for me and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to set my die on here. If you need to, you can use a piece of washi tape, but make sure that you put the washi tape against you several times, against your clothing, to get rid of some of the stickiness. Even though it is a temporary tape, it still can, I find, cause some ripping of my paper. So I try, if I don't have to use it, I try not to use it. So now I'm going to push this through, and I usually go through a couple of times just to make sure it goes all the way and cuts all the way through my paper. Okay, and my dies, my plates are getting worn, and that really kind of bothers me. I'm one of those people that I like my stuff to stay looking new, so when it starts cutting into my plates, it just drives me nuts. How about you guys? Does that bother you, or is that just something that you know is a part of crafting and it is what it is, but makes me a little crazy? So now you have to carefully weed out all these edges and things, and it gets kind of delicate in some places around these trees and that, and I don't want to lose them. And that's another reason why I send it through a couple of times, because I don't want things to rip. I want everything to be well cut through and just come apart nicely. These are pretty delicate here. I don't know if this one cut for me all the way. And then when you get down to the deer, you got their little ears and their little horns, and I always want those to be done carefully. And then we got these tiny little pieces here that I'm going to use a weeder to push out because they're just tiny. They don't ever push all the way out, even though they cut well. They don't push out of there, so I like to use this little weeder from, it's actually a Cricut weeder, but I own a Brother Scan and Cut. I couldn't find in my stores the Brother Scan and Cut machine, much less the kit that goes with it as far as having weeders and stuff. And I did find a few things. It came with a few things, but then I found a large scraper on Amazon and I bought that for it. Because my local stores had nothing. You can find all kinds of Cricut stuff, but there was nothing for my Brother Scan and Cut. So I opted for a Scan and Cut because you don't need to have cartridges. When Cricut first came out, you had to have cartridges to do anything with it. And it's like you bought a bunch of cartridges that you had to store, and then, you know, you had to buy more cartridges if you wanted more designs and stuff, where with the Brother Scan and Cut, it's all kind of enclosed in one program, one computer. I don't have to buy a bunch of cartridges. I do have to have access to internet to use it. And then I did buy a card. I bought a couple cards. I bought an embossing card, and then I bought another card that I had in the beginning for the internet portion to get online, to get into their creative space. But there's some other cards out there, I guess, they have some that have different designs that I have not seen the cards yet. And you need a card to get into those, and I need to find that. So we have this all ready to go. So on this, I like to use my art glitter glue because I have the metal tip on here that goes into very small areas, and this has got definitely very small areas I'm going to have to get into and go along. You don't want to put too much glue on, so this small tip helps with that because it does not give you a lot of glue at once. But like I said, I have these little horns here. I want to put a dab of glue there so those don't come up and break on me, or her ears here. I want to get glue so that things stay down and don't break off. And then I want to go around this whole open area here on the inside so that it doesn't come apart, and then down around the edges on everything to go down. Okay, now we need to get over top here. Okay, and then gently press everything down. You don't want to rub across this part because you're going to have things fly up on you and not be flat where they need to be. Okay, so we have that nicely adhered down, and we want to take our card now. And I don't fold the card right away because it's easier to get this on there where it belongs if the card is nice and flat. So we'll just put some glue on the edges, or here you could use your AGT or your tape runners, whatever you want there. It's just kind of a short-term project. Most people don't keep their Christmas cards forever, so you're not too worried about that. But I have my glue right here handy, and it works for me. So get this the best you can centered on this half of the card, and then press it down again. Close up my glue quick so it doesn't clog on me. Then you want to go to the inside, and I simply take the card up and flip it like this so I know that my sentiment goes here. Otherwise, I'm one of those, I'd put the sentiment on the wrong side and going the wrong way, and been there, done that. So I'm going to just take my stamp pad to my stamper. Make sure I have plenty on there without getting it on the borders. Then put your sentiment wherever you like. Hold it down. Give it a couple minutes for the glue to, the ink to transfer to the card. You don't want to move it at all or rock it at all, or you can get blurriness. Let's make sure it stamped, and it did. So that is it. It's, you know, if you pre-cut, if you want to do these mass producing, you can pre-cut all your white cardstock, all your brown cardstock, then run everything through the Sizzix right away, and then go back, weed it out, and glue it all together. Just kind of make yourself an assembly line, and you have all your Christmas cards done in a flash. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. I hope you will subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to make sure that you see when I'm uploading more videos. Let me know if you're making your own Christmas cards this year, and if you do, let me know what they are, and you can send me a picture. You can put it in the post below. I would love to see them. Also, if you want to send me pictures of your cards, you can send them to mkrcreations@aol.com. And happy crafting, everyone. See you next time.